You know, I don't even think I don't even think I have the words for what I watched. You know, like I mean, I think it's the epitome of when people say like I'll never get that time back. And I don't want to just say that because it'll sound cliche, but like, bruh, we live on the evil timeline. We do. It we have to. Donald Trump goes to Davos to give a speech. And he addresses a number of things, and we'll get right into it. But the craziness that we're about to watch, Jesus, sorry, babe.
And all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America. Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of my inauguration, and today, after 12 months back in the White House, our economy is booming, growth is exploding, productivity is surging, investment is soaring, incomes are rising, inflation has been defeated, our previously open and dangerous border is closed and virtually impenetrable, and the United States is in the midst of the fastest and most dramatic economic turnaround in our country's history. Under the Biden administration, America was plagued by the nightmare of stagflation, meaning low growth, and high inflation, a recipe for misery, failure, and decline. But now, after just 1 year of my policies, we are witnessing the exact opposite: virtually no inflation and extraordinarily high economic growth. Growth like I believe you'll see very shortly our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before. Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in 1 year.
Not to just be a hater, because I definitely am a Trump hater, but when it comes out of his mouth, it always just sounds like a lie. And I'm pretty sure much smarter people than me are going to do videos about this that are going to debunk everything he's probably saying. This is more of a reaction video, but I find it hard to believe most of the things that he just said on its face, because Trump just has a way of conflating everything, making everything bigger than it already is.
52 records, adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks, and people's savings. People are doing very well. They're very happy with me.
So Trump's approval rating is sitting at 36% by proof of this Gallup poll. People, by definition, are not happy with him. I think people disapprove of what Trump is doing by like 56 or 59%. So this idea that everybody's happy with Trump is just a bold-faced lie. We have tons more clips to get into.
And the world is doing. I read recently an article in the Wall Street Journal that China's creating so much energy, and they are. I got to hand it to them. But we're creating as much or more, and we're letting them do that. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. I said, you can't create this much energy. We needed more than double the energy currently in the country just to take care of the AI plants. And I said, we can't do that. We have an old grid system. And I came up with the idea, you people are brilliant. You have a lot of money. Let's see what you can do. You can build your own electric generating plants. And they looked at me. They didn't believe me. All of the names that are, I think, in the room right now, if you want to know the truth, they didn't believe it. And I said, no, you can't. They came back 2 weeks and they didn't have the plant. They said, we thought you were kidding. I said, no, not only am I not kidding, you're going to have your approvals within 2 weeks. I always say nuclear will take
2 weeks.
3 weeks. But most aren't going that. They're going oil and gas. They're even going coal in some cases. Because of my landslide election victory, the United States avoided the catastrophic energy collapse which befell every European nation that pursued the Green New Scam, perhaps the greatest hoax in history. The Green New Scam, windmills all over the place, destroy your land, destroy your land. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000.
What?
You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money.
Now, here's the part where he starts to talk a little bit about Greenland and his sociopathic dictator wet dream fantasy about how he wants to take it over and all this other crap. But he's gonna explain how much he loves Greenland first.
I was going to leave it out of the speech, but I think I would have been reviewed very negatively. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, tremendous respect. But every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. We're a great power, much greater than people even understand. I think they found that out 2 weeks ago in Venezuela. We saw this in World War II, when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled, we did it, we felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory, and hold it we did at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, tremendous respect. We set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting just...
It's like listening to your old ass grandpa talk, and you really like you know it's Easter, and you really like you really don't want to be rude, but damn, he just don't shut up, yo. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be that uncle when I get old, but like being on this side of it, God, it sucks, bruh. Oh, Father, help me.
Save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, tremendous respect. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. Tremendous respect.
You know, and what an absolute insult that is to say. Like, think about like if I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, yo, bro, you think y'all won that by yourself? Like the caucasity of this dude, bro. Like,
after the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now? I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark. Tremendous respect.
Like, he respects Greenland, but now they're ungrateful. Like, people have a right when they're born and live in a place to want to have sovereignty over the place that they're born, over their own country, especially when you're on the other side of the water.
The world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we've got him in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened. And the United States is treated very unfairly by NATO. I want to tell you that. And when you think about it, nobody can dispute it.
What is the point of that?
We give so much, and we get so little in return. And I've been a critic of NATO for many years.
We had so much to give. I think that was the point. I think that was part of it, a huge part of it.
Years. And yet I've done more to help NATO than any other president by far, than any other person. You wouldn't have NATO if I didn't get involved in my first term. The war with Ukraine is an example. We are thousands of miles away, separated by a giant ocean. It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out.
Here we go with this bullshit.
People will soon be prosecuted for what they did.
This man just had his Freudian slip.
It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. Can't have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections, and ideally a good press. I always say.
You know, I don't think he meant to say that. I don't even think he was looking at that teleprompter when he said it. You know, people are going to get prosecuted is an insane thing to say at an international conference about people in your own country. It's like all he wants to do is confirm that he is now officially going to be a strongman dictator. There's nothing there's nothing anyone is going to be able to do about it.
Say it. Strong borders, strong elections, free, fair elections, and a fair media. The media is terrible.
And we already know he's going to go for the elections. We know it for a fact.
It's very crooked. It's very biased, terrible. But someday it'll straighten out because it's losing all credibility. Think of it. When I went in a landslide, a giant landslide, won all 7 swing states, won the popular vote, won everything, and I only get negative press. That means that it has no credibility. And if they're going to get...
Half the country hates you, idiot. You got 49% of the vote. 49% of the vote. Not 51%. Yeah, you got the popular vote, but nobody went outside and voted. Nobody cares. Jesus. Such a damn crybaby.
They have to, a big NATO was marginally 9%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said, NATO said, that's not fair. But then more importantly, I got NATO to pay 5%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said was possible. They said, we will never go up higher than 2%. But they went to 5%, and now they're paying the 5. They didn't pay the 2, and now they're paying the 5. And they're stronger for it, and they have a...
Trump decided to stop funding and walked away effectively from helping finance a lot of things that we were financing and donating the money that we were donating to NATO. They had no choice but to fill those gaps. You didn't do anything. You in fact, did the opposite. You just stopped.
An excellent, by the way, Secretary General, who's possibly in the room. Mark, are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark.
And here's the part where Trump decides to flex on NATO, or by saying how he's not going to invade. I could, but I won't. You know, I could, but I won't do that now.
We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark. Tremendous respect. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement.
He is such an embarrassment for a president. Like, he's so embarrassing.
I made because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
Everything about this man points to that being a lie. That's a lie. I think he realized how bad this is all looking. I think he really can't stand the backlash. And I think he's a pussy. And I think he sees that Europe is not playing. So he's kind of backtracking. But he wants to do it. Next, we're going to watch him talk about why we need to own it, because who the hell would want to own a lease country? What? What is he talking about? What? How is it that he looks at everything like it's fucking real estate?
Is nothing except to protect Europe from the Soviet Union and now Russia. I mean, we've helped them for so many years. We've never gotten anything, except we pay for NATO. And we paid for many years until I came along. We paid for, in my opinion, 100% of NATO because they weren't paying their bills. And all we're asking for is to get Greenland, including right title and ownership, because you need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend it on a lease. Number one, legally it's not defensible that way, totally. And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease, which is a large piece of ice in the middle of the ocean where...
What is he talking about? Somebody, please send me, put a link in the comments or something. What is he talking about? Lease, defending a lease? Who would want to defend a lease? Country is just a piece of ice. Like, he's rambling. Like, he has to have dementia. There's no way that Republicans can look at what Trump is and what Trump is doing and how he talks in front of the world, literally in front of the world, and not think he has Joe Biden levels of dementia.
If there is a war, much of the action will take place on that piece of ice. Think of it. Those missiles would be flying right over the center of that piece of ice. All we want from Denmark for national and international security and to keep our very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome.
Now he's going to talk about Canada and start to talk more strongly about why we should be their enemy. I mean, he's so self-destructive. I don't even, like, why create a narrative where, and why create a situation where we have an adversarial relationship with our neighbors to the north and our neighbors to the south? And, oh, by the way, you're speaking in front of most of our European allies and alienating them from us on purpose? Okay, I got more.
Dome ever built. We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your Prime Minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. A lot. I did a lot of big things, all perfectly executed. Everyone.
He did a lot of big things, y'all. Oh my God, bro. Yo, he was probably the lamest kid in school, bro. Oh my God. Jeez.
Over there. And that's what I want to stop. It doesn't help the United States. The month before that, it was 25,000. It's a bloodbath over there. And that's what I want to stop. It doesn't help the United States, but these are souls. These are young people look like you, look like some of you right in the front row. They go to war, their parents are so proud. Oh, there he goes, comes back. 2 weeks later, they get a call, your son's head's been blown off. I want to stop it. It's a horrible war. It's the worst since World War II.
Yo, this is what y'all voted for. And then now, like, this is where, like, for me, there's proof that Trump has some sort of dementia. He keeps referring to Greenland as Iceland.
That they'd be there for us. So with all of the money we expend, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears, I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. But that dip is peanuts.
He means Greenland. Everybody's mad at me over Greenland. Nobody was mad at him over Iceland. Nobody was talking about Iceland. Greenland. He knows that Greenland is like made up of a lot of ice. So for him, he made the mistake and switched it around and called it Iceland. But he's Trump, so he either one still can't remember. Look at his face. Or two, he's just gonna keep it going because of his ego. Oh my God, how? 3 more years.
That's compared to what it's gone up. And we have an unbelievable future in that stock. That stock market is going to be doubled. We're going to hit 50,000, and that stock market's months, and gave us perhaps security. Above all, the strong and say no.
Next, we're going to look at Trump, for some reason, flexing on France. You know, I can't. It's another one of those things where I would love to know and be in the rooms and to hear why these people are doing this. And a part of me just kind of just feels like it's just because they think they can. Like it's the simplest kind of reason. I don't think it's any real method to madness other than they think that they want to be big boys and play like Risk and shit. Like, you know.
So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
That's like a direct threat. And if I'm a country in Europe or in NATO, I wouldn't take it any other way.
Strong and secure America means a strong NATO. And that's one reason why I'm working every day to ensure our military is very powerful, our borders are very strong, and above all, our economy is strong because national security requires economic security and economic prosperity, and we have the greatest that we've ever had. So when I called up Emmanuel Macron, I watched him yesterday with those beautiful sunglasses. What the hell happened? But I watched him sort of be tough. But he was at $10 for a pill. And I said, Emmanuel, and I have all the big pharmaceutical companies are in total agreement. It wasn't easy, by the way. They're tough, smart. They've been getting away with the scam for a long time. But they gave it up. But they said, you'll never get the countries to approve it. I said, why is that? Because they won't. They always said, we're not paying any more. Get the rest for the United States. So over the years, they stayed the same. We just went up, up, up. And I mean, we would pay 13, 14, 15 times more than some certain countries would. So I said, no, they'll approve it 100%. Sir, you'll never get them to approve it. I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him.
Emmanuel.
I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it? And I said, Emmanuel,
It is hard to believe.
you're going to have to lift the price of that pill to $20, maybe $30. Think of that. That means it's a doubling of prescription drugs. Might be a tripling, might be a quadrupling. It's not easy. No, 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 Donald, I will not do that. I said, yes, you will.
Now, Donald Trump has this thing when he talks about, when he speaks with foreign people like they really don't speak English. They go, no, 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 no. Like he's buying a handbag in Chinatown or some shit. It's so weird. Like he's so he's so detached from reality that he speaks about every type of person this way. Every type of person that's a foreigner, that like you'll hear it all throughout the speech. It's so freaking weird.
Will 100%. He said, no, no, no. You're asking me to double. I said, Emmanuel, you've been taking advantage of the United States for 30 years with prescription drugs. You really should do it, and you will do it. I have no doubt. In fact, I am 100% sure you're going to. No, 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 I will not do it. Because, yes, in all fairness to him, he has to double or triple. Because the world being a bigger place than the United States, it's not that you meet in the middle. You just have to go up some, and we come down a lot. They go up a little, we come down a lot. So we're at $130, they're at 10. So they may have to go to 20 or 30. No more than that. I said,
so he's trying to justify bringing our prescription drug prices down by forcing people in Europe who have cheap drug prices to raise theirs by double. Why? Why would they want to do that? What? Secondly, what benefit is it at all? How does it benefit other than the drug companies for that to happen? Right? Like, what are you talking about? And why would they even want to do that? Why? What reason would I have to do that if I'm France, if I'm Britain, if I'm Germany, if I'm the Netherlands? Why? Get out of here. Like,
Emmanuel, you're going to be doubling or tripling. No, no, no. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. The answer is you're going to do it. You're going to do it fast. And if you don't, I'm putting a 25% tariff on everything that you sell into the United States and a 100% tariff on your wines and champagnes. And that's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. And you
then they'll go to China. Like everybody else. Like Canada just did last week. They'll just go to China. Nobody wants to. Not only does nobody have an interest, no country have an interest in dealing with us. They also know how volatile and crazy our markets are, and how unpredictable Trump is. So why would they care? You're not tough, bro.
You're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that. No, no, Donald, I will do it. I will do it.
Who believes that?
It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country saying the same thing. You will do it. They all said, no, 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 I will not do it. You're asking me to double the cost of prescription. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years. And they said, we will not.
This man just lost it. You better screw with us. He did that every phone call.
I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years. And they said, we will not do it. I said, that's all right. On Monday morning, we're putting a 25, 30, 50. I gave different numbers for different countries.
Now he's going to talk about how drug prices are coming down 90%. Now, as a progressive, I would love to see that. Sure, 90% drug prices coming down. Let's do it. I don't believe he's actually going to do that, though. Like that health plan he said he was going to give us in 2016, 2017.
Yes, good. I got set up. No, I did know.
You made the job for the moderator really easy. Thank you, Mr. President, for your speech. I do have a few follow-up questions, if it's okay. Sure. I don't think I should start with Greenland, maybe. I'll start with the economy. The U.S.
He's staying the hell away from that. Don't touch that deal.
The economy is doing really, really well. But how to sustain this growth moving forward? Because there's always a recession looming around the corner.
Well, you know, the one thing about economies and recessions is sometimes you get hit unexpectedly and there's nothing you can do about it. All brilliant people, but there's nothing. One example was COVID. We had an economy going at levels like nobody had ever seen my first 2.5, 3 years. And then I heard
2 years.
The word pandemic, not COVID. They came up with that name over a period of time. We won't get into that. But I heard the word pandemic, and I had a poll come out that was so strong just prior to that, and I was with the two best pollsters, McLaughlin and Fabrizio, and they said, sir, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if they came back and ran as president and vice president, they couldn't beat you. And then what happened is the following day, I was told to...
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard. It's hard to believe anything he says. When you say stuff like that, there's no reason for me to believe that anything you said about the economy, about your numbers, about your metrics have any real validity, because it sounds like you live in a weird ass reality where people, like, even when people are talking to you normally, you probably think that they're giving you praise. Like, he probably has no self-awareness when he's in a room. The question was about the economy in a potential recession. What the hell is he talking about?
Right around that certain building that we talk about, I always said it came from Wuhan. It did come from Wuhan. And they were body bags. We saw it by satellite. And they said, there are strange things happening in China. And so it began. And we ended up with the COVID, and the whole world suffered. We did a phenomenal job. I don't think we got the credit we deserved. We did something that Operation Warp Speed, which some people say was one of the greatest military feats ever. We did a great job. Used our military, used a lot of people. But
Operation Warp Speed was an operation to get the vaccine out to multiple people, something that many people in MAGA do not agree with. He takes credit for Operation Warp Speed. Nobody see? That's not weird to nobody? Like, this man takes credit for something that 90% of his supporters thinks was a government psyop operation to control their bodies, and here he is in front of the entire world taking credit for it. I swear, these people are in a damn cult.
Sometimes you get hit with things, nothing you can do. You get hit with things like that unexpectedly. And we got through it. And when I left, the stock market was higher than it was previous to the COVID coming up. And I called it a great achievement. But things happen. Bad things happen. The things that we can stop are wars if we're smart. That we can stop. Those are a matter of being intelligent.
So, again, the question was about the economy and a potential recession, and I don't think we were ever going to get an answer.
And if they don't...
Now he talks about getting the guns away from Hamas because they were born with guns in their hand. This is funny because we live in a country with over 350 million guns. So
they're stupid. That goes for both of them. I believe they're at a point now where they can come together and get a deal done. And if they don't, they're stupid. That goes for both of them.
He was talking about Putin and Zelensky.
And I know they're not stupid, but if they don't get this done, they are stupid. So I don't want to insult anyone, but you got to get.
He's like a kid, you know what I mean? He's like literally he like suffers from arrested development. Right? Like he's just like, you guys are stupid. If you're gonna keep fighting, you guys are stupid. I don't want to insult anybody. But you guys are stupid if you don't stop. You guys are stupid. You guys stop being mean to each other. You guys are stupid.
This deal done. Too many people are dying. It's not worth it. I mean, I think we have peace in the Middle East. There are some little situations like Hamas, and Hamas has agreed to give up their weapons. Now, you know, they were born with a weapon in their hand, so it's not easy to do. When they were born with a rifle in their hand. It's not an easy thing for them, but that's what they agreed to. They've got to do it.
First of all, we can make an entirely different video talking about Israel and Hamas and whether it should be a ceasefire and whether they should give up their firearms or not. But the idea that they should give up their firearms because they have so many and it's like they were born with a firearm in their hands. We have pictures of little kids at gun shows holding assault rifles with smiles on their faces. We don't have a leg to stand on. So, anyways, that's the video. Sorry it took so long. I'm trying to cut it down as much as I can. May the good Lord bless your bones. Peace and love. Peace and love.
There's so many shows, said yes to a lot of them. Few weeks later, I don't hear peep out of them. You gotta stay focused on goals, don't ever switch up. Keep applying pressure while these other artists hiccup. Drift up from the socks to the cloth, that's on my head top. Trying to stay close to my people like I'm the red body. Think that I'm Jedi mind tricking. It's just me. Is it hard for y'all to understand the world just in love with